Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is Guide for Suzuka Circuit with the Renault Sport Megane trophy. Let's get this started. Quick note, as you're about to start a new lap, you want to bring yourself all the way to the left side of the track to build up a bit more speed to get a faster start to your new lap. So we're going to go ahead and stay on the left side of the track. Brake balance for the Megane trophy is at +2 for a bit more rotation. And your first braking point is going to be the path that is on the left. So once you start to pass the path, you want to use some braking control so you can slow down while still have the ability to turn. You're going to do this throughout turns 1 and 2. And as you hit the apex of turn 2, that is where you want to slowly start to accelerate to try to get a fast exit. Then for the S's, it's all about throttle control. You can use a little bit of braking if you're going through one of the turns a little too fast. But for this right turn coming up, this is where you'll most likely use just a little bit of braking to fine tune the car. And then for the left turn, you can try to take a flat out, but you might need to do a little lift off of throttle to make sure you don't hit the grass. Then bring yourself towards the left, and for Degner 1, you want to use the digital flag on the left as your braking point. Quick burst of braking, take advantage of the curbs, and then for Degner 2, brake before the curb on the left end. So brake hard for a short moment, quickly ease off of the brakes, and gently get on the throttle. For the hairpin, you can brake just after the curb on the right end. So just after this curb ends, that is where you want to brake hard for a while. And with the Megane trophy, you can bring yourself down to first gear to get the car to whip around the hairpin so it'll rotate even faster. Then quickly get onto second gear and carefully accelerate your way out. It's a little tricky to do, but with a little bit of practice, you'll be able to nail it down and get a nice clean exit out of the hairpin. Then stay towards the right side of the track, and just after you pass the path that is on the right, that is where you want to start to brake. So brake hard for a short moment and gradually ease off the brakes as you make your way through the spoon. And before the curb on the right ends, use a little bit of braking once again. And you want to fully accelerate when the curb on the left ends. And then we'll make our way out of spoon. So as we make our way into 130R, you just want to go through the back straight, going as fast as you can. And for 130R, turn in at the 50-meter board and do a quick lift off of throttle. You want to try to maintain as much speed as possible. And finally, for the Castle Triangle, brake at the 125-meter mark. So brake hard for a while, and you can take advantage of the curbs. So take advantage of the red and white curves for the first part of the chicane. And for the second part of the chicane, you can actually get on the tealish area, as that is still considered on track limits. Use a little bit of throttle control to try to reduce the amount of wheel spin and bring yourself all the way to the right side of the track and finish your lap. But that is pretty much it for the lap guide. Let's go ahead and take a look at the strategies. Alright, so we're doing 9 laps at Suzuka Circuit with the Group 4 cars, and some people might be asking me, why did you use the Megane trophy for a time trial instead of a car like the Subaru WRX, Mazda Tenza, or the Volkswagen Scirocco? Well, the thing is that while those cars are good in time trial, they are terrible for the race because the tire wear rate is a massive problem. So I'm using the Renault Sport Megane trophy because tire wear is a big issue here, and the Megane trophy, it is fantastic when it comes to tire wear, to the point where it's almost like if you're using a cheat code. So fuel is a ×2, so fuel is not a problem, but the tire wear is a ×8. That's a very high multiplier at Suzuka Circuit, and you only have the racing medium tires to work with. So this is pretty much going to be a tire saving race where you want to drive as smoothly as possible and just try to keep your inputs nice and tidy to try to make those tires last as long as possible. So you're pretty much going for a 0 stop, because if you have to pit for tires, you're losing about 15 seconds, and that is 15 seconds too many. You're not going to be able to recover all of those positions you lost in the pit stop. So you want a car that is good on tire wear. So for example, the Renault Megane Trophy, Keyword Trophy, the Toyota 86, and I think the Ferrari 458 Italia is also decent when it comes to tire wear. But for the most part, the Megane Trophy is pretty much going to be your go-to car for good tire saving management. And I have the brake balance at +2 or 2 to the rear because the Trophy, it wears the front tires faster than the rear tires. So you want to try to even out the tire wear. So +2 on the Trophy should be good enough. +3 if you want to save the front tire life a bit more. And as you do your first lap, just drive a little more gently, drive a little more carefully because your tires are going to be cold. So they're not going to be giving you all the grip that they can provide. So just drive a little more carefully, brake just a tad bit earlier so you don't end up overshooting some of the turns, especially turns 1 and 2. But anyways, let's skip on over towards the halfway point or just past the halfway point. So end of lap 5, there's already a noticeable amount of tire wear on the Megane Trophy, but it is still very drivable. And oh yeah, so I ended up getting a track limit penalty for barely cutting the chicane, so that is something that you want to be careful with. And we're still doing good in terms of lap times. Our lap times are more or less pretty consistent. And we're going to skip on over towards the end of lap 8. Tire wear, it's a bit more of a thing now, so we are losing a bit of time, but it's still very manageable to drive. If you're using a front-wheel drive car or an all-wheel drive car, good luck because your tires will probably be dead by the end of lap 4 because that's how bad they are when it comes to tire wear. So once again, you want to use a car that is good on tire wear, which is pretty much going to be what the Megane Trophy is going to be able to do. So as we do our 9th and final lap, let's go ahead and take a look at places to overtake and the penalty serving zones. So the main straight, obviously a good place to get an overtake done, especially with the use of slipstream. And after that, it's pretty much going to be a single file line for quite a while. So you're not really going to go for any sort of passes unless someone makes a significant mistake as you make your way through the S's. And let's skip on over to Degner 2. So just after Degner 2, which is this right turn, there is an opportunity to get it past done, especially if the car ahead of you got a bad exit through Degner 2. You can try to get it past done, leading up to the hairpin, which leads to another overtaking opportunity as you make your way into Spoon. So these two back straights that are coming up, and actually we're on one of them right now, these are some really good places to try to get an overtake done. So as we approach Spoon, we just went through one of the overtaking opportunities, or one of the better places to get the overtakes done. And then we make our way into the back straight, where this is another place to possibly get an overtake done. And here is also the only penalty serving zone. You lose quite a bit of time if you have to serve a penalty, as you see in lap 6. And be careful trying to pass someone through 130R. It's very dangerous to get a pass done. But also you can wait it out until we reach the Katsu Triangle. This is the last best place to get the overtake done. But anyways, yeah, this is a bit of a long race. We are clocking in at around 19.5 minutes. So I think I got a 19:32 with the penalty counted in. So I think it should have been like a 19:29 if I didn't have to serve the penalty, but oh well. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the guide. Hopefully this guide helps you out, and if it does, you can press the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I do have a membership program thing, which you can check out in the description down below. So this is Mr. CA reminding you to not use a front-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive in the race, and I'll see you in the next video.